Today, we're making garlic prawn with literally just the 2 ingredients in the name. By playing with fat, salt, moisture, and temperature, I want to show you, even with simple ingredients, how much complex flavors you could achieve. So, first, we deal with the prawns. And for this recipe, I like to separate them into 3 things: the shells, the heads, and the flesh. And we'll cook them all differently. Now, to clean the head, I like to cut below the eyes, and you get rid of this pointy bit that might cut you when you eat. You simply cut, you check to see if you need to remove the sand. This one's good. We remove the leg again for easier eating, and you simply snap the head off, and we remove the shell. These are frozen prawns, so they're quite easy to remove anyway. If you have fresh prawns, it might be very difficult to remove the shells, so you're better off blanching them very quickly, then dunking them in ice water to cool down to stop the cooking. Then the shells would come right off. Suddenly there's a lot. Brilliant! Now we have all 3 ready to go. We'll fry the shells, braise the heads, and poach the tail. Now, for the garlic, we first want to make some fried garlic. So we chop up the whole thing. So, when you're dealing with high heat, I always recommend you either chop the garlic by hand or you use a food processor, but not a garlic crusher. Because when you use a garlic crusher, you're breaking the cell membranes, making the garlic very easy to burn. We'll use the crusher later when we're not dealing with high heat. And that's it. As you can see, I'm keeping them quite coarse because of the heat we're about to introduce. Now, we add a very generous amount of vegetable oil or any high smoke point neutral oil, and we add half of the chopped garlic, and we simply fry them at gentle heat. So the reason why we make fried garlic is because A, to create the contrasting texture, but more importantly, garlic, as spicy as the raw form is, it's actually full of sugar content, and sugar plus fat plus heat will give us the Maillard reaction at around 150 to 170 degrees Celsius, giving us the complex and deep flavors. Similar when you sear a steak, bake a loaf of bread. The distinct flavor of the crust of the bread and the seared steak both came from the Maillard reaction. One is sugar reacting, the other is amino acid, protein reacting. So we're gently going towards 150, trying to not burn them. Oh, the smell is incredible right now. Once they start to turn golden, you can even smell the deeper garlic flavors. By the way, if you're not filming, use a non-stick for this. It's way more fail-proof. I just want you to be able to see the color change. And now, we have golden garlic. We grab a plate, lined with paper towel, and the garlic comes out. Crispy as well. The contrasting texture we wanted. Now, with this beautiful garlic oil we have, we're going to extract the maximum from the prawns by making a prawn oil infusion. So, heat back on, the shells, they go in. It might splash a little bit because of the water. This way, nothing goes to waste. Immediately, you can see the shells turning red. And this red color only binds with fat, not liquid. So no matter how long you boil your prawns, the water will never turn red. But the moment it touches fat, it extracts all the beautiful colors from the fat and all the wonderful flavors from the shells. And of course, with the bit of protein, the bit of meat stuck to the shell, we're also getting another round of Maillard reaction. This time, the protein / amino acid version. The best of both worlds. Now look at this color. Look at this beautiful color. That's perfect. So, stove off once again. We sieve out the shells and thank them for their service. At this point, they're like crisps. You can actually eat them. Good enough. Now, we move on to the second form of garlic. This time, instead of frying them, we're going to sweat the other half, meaning we're going to cook them without color to evaporate the water content, to concentrate the flavors and the sweetness without the Maillard reaction. So to give you a different form of garlic that's more garlicky. So this goes in, gentle sizzle. And this time, we season for the first time. We salt generously. The salt will also help the garlic evaporate the water content. Once the garlic is fragrant, meaning they're becoming slightly translucent and you can smell the beautiful garlicky goodness, the heads, they go in. First, to evaporate their moisture and concentrate their flavors. Second, to get a tiny bit of color. and the flavors from the head will emulsify with the flavors of the garlic and the flavors of oil we just made. Beautiful. Oh my god. To be honest, at this point, I just want to grab some bread and just go. Or some noodles. But we have a recipe to film. So, once the heads has this beautiful color, we add just enough water to cover everything. I mean, if you have chicken stock, it will be great. Now, we bring this back to a boil, lid on, and we let this simmer for 10 minutes to really extract as much flavor as possible from the heads and to soften the shells enough for you to actually eat the whole thing without having to remove the shells. All right, after 10 minutes, oh, beautiful. We have a beautifully emulsified sauce. So now we add the fried garlic back to the party. And now we poach the prawns. They cook incredibly quick. Once they change color and they've curled up to about a 90-degree angle, you know they're good to go. So now we bring up the heat. We're reducing as we cook the prawns. Look at the color of the sauce. We've not added anything except for the prawns and the garlic. Brilliant. At the very last minute, we lower the heat, and as promised, the third form of garlic. Raw with the cell membrane crushed. This is what's going to give us that raw garlicky goodness. Also, to make sure the dish is still balanced, we're only adding half a clove. That's it. We stir that in just to give it 30 seconds to remove the harshness, but keeping all the garlicky goodness. Oh, this is beautiful. Wow. And that's it. Stove off, and we can plate. This is incredible, honestly. Wow. Look at the consistency of the sauce. By the way, if you want to reduce this further, please pass it through a sieve before you do, because otherwise the garlic would just burn. And that's it. Garlic in 3 different forms, prawn in 3 different forms. We have contrasting textures, complex flavors. It's wonderful, and it looks beautiful. This is garlic prawn. I really hope you enjoy.